9. And there's his buddy that he hired, the sweet bearded man himself, Adam. He's the marketing man.
He used to be my fun friend. He was a lot of fun before, but he was a total lame.
So, we are live.
We are live.
All right.
That's right. He's the voice of the man, Heatwave. All right, you guys, I'm going to close down the Periscope, but I look forward to seeing you guys soon on the photo walks. All right? We have some super new, awesome peak design stuff that we're going to be sliding away at some of the VIP parties afterwards. So I just saw shipments coming in. Very exciting. So, yeah, it's going to be awesome possum. All right, you guys, see you later. Catch you on the flip side. Ratcliff out.
Did we just do a Periscope while doing a Google Hangout?
You did. It's like Inception.
Like, yeah. Crazy. What's up, everybody?
Hey.
How's the mood in the office today?
Solid.
Solid mood.
Good. Great. What's up, Annie?
Hello.
Man, it's a tank toppy kind of day. Is it hot?
Oh, it's super. We got new tank tops in.
No way, really? Oh, look at those.
Morning.
Excellent. Awesome.
Look how deep that V is.
Yeah, that is a pretty. I was watching. What was it? It was on Reddit. Someone was referring to it as bros, like bros go make a bag, bros do this. That deep V isn't going to help the bros look. There are.
No, it is not.
You help us out on that.
This is broology.
Bro, Art is definitely not a bro. Let me just say that. He's just not a bro.
All right.
He's a swanky dude.
We got a bunch
Well, we should probably get down to business. We've got 45 minutes, and these things usually tend to run long. The purpose of this hangout is for our backers and customers and whoever is watching to ask us any question you want about the bag, about the pouch, about Kickstarter, about our collaboration together, and we'll answer it. We're using the Q&A feature, so on the Hangout there's a Q&A button. You can press that button and you'll be able to ask a question. You can vote up other people's questions. As we answer questions, I will click on them on the side, and that means this recorded meeting you'll be able to actually go in and see at what point we're answering what questions. So let's try to get through as many as possible. The first question is from Chris Dang. Can you show how the stabilizer strap folds away into the bag?
Trick question.
No, I can't actually on this bag because this is a generation behind. So I can't actually show that functionality on this one, unfortunately. Basically, I can show you how it will work on the next round of prototypes, and that is. So here we have this little slit, and basically there's a little. It works very similar to the way that straps are stashed on ski packs and ice climbing packs, where they stow straps to strap down ice axes and such. So there's a little slit right here, and this Hypalon guy is probably going to be going away because we're switching up the attachment system that we're using. But basically, you can stash that, and then there's a hidden panel behind here that may or may not be the same pocket that you can access to store like a phone or slim water bottle in there. And then that can also be stored flat against the bag. You can cinch it down and store it flat against the bag for sort of quick access, so that every time you want to take the stabilizer strap on and off, you don't have to dig for it every single time if you're really using it. So two different kind of storage options there. And those can be completely removed. They're on sort of a little feed-through doubler. So if you're like, I never need the stabilizer strap and I don't want them taking up precious space even in that little hidden pocket, you can completely remove them.
Sweet. All right. Hey, Elish, since you're managing the meeting, do you want to just move us on to the next question there?
Sure.
Sounds like fine. You're on there. I'll select. Go for it. So the next question on there was, are you
Considering implementing some kind of anti-theft mechanism or lock?
So I'll, since we've had a lot of kind of product discussions and discussions about things that have occurred on the board, and I wouldn't say we've really addressed that with comments and things like that yet. Is that no, we're not anti-theft beyond what the mag latch is. Now, the mag latch is something that is effortless and seamless, and we make look super easy to do in the videos, because it is if you know what you're doing. But the thing is that the way that it works, all right, so the best example of this is in the slow motion photograph the slow motion shot that we had during video 2, the design deep dive. And it's, a couple of separate actions are required. First, you need to pull out, and you need to pull out like all the way until it stops. Like there's a little stopping point there, and then you've reached kind of stage 1. And then point 2 after that is you've got to pull down. And generally speaking, there's a little bit. There's an elastic element to that latch as well. So essentially, if someone's going to get into your bag, they need to like A, know what they're doing, and then B, give it a serious tug down. And most likely, unless they're experts in everyday messenger, they're actually going to tug down, and it's not going to come. It's not going to come open. But at the very least, it's going to be a tug down, and you're going to feel that. I mean. I've been a pickpocket victim before. I studied in Europe when I was in college, and I went down that. And if you feel something going on, you're going to turn around and you're going to be able to stop that pickpocket. Pickpocketing is all about people who don't even know that they got hacked. So we actually think that it's super preventative against that, as is currently designed.
Great.
All right.
Next question. All right. So, also, is the shoulder strap removable? If so, can we see pictures of the bag with it removed?
Is the shoulder strap removable?
You can remove the shoulder strap. It's not intended to be a quick removal. What it is intended to do is that if you're, a lot of people have a style of carry where they wear it on their left-hand side. I think that's about how 80% of people wear a messenger bag. But we wanted it to be able to be rigged so that you could wear it on the right-hand shoulder as well. So you can remove the strap, flip it around, and re-thread it to be right shoulder friendly. But it's not a quick release mechanism to pull these off and on really, really quickly if you wanted to store the strap. The reason we did that is because we were trying to find the right balance of a strap attachment mechanism that felt like a sewn-in strap and provided really good articulation and kind of checked all the boxes in terms of performance that we wanted. In order to get all of those features, this was sort of the best compromise between a quick release, like carabiner swivel kind of a thing, and a sewn-in strap. And I think most people are really gonna dig it.
Awesome. So next question. I noticed Trey's bag features a carabiner type clip at the end of the shoulder strap. Is this a feature of one of the prototype models or customization on this part?
That was a prototype model. The rivet-based strap attachment, which is this little guy here, and this is still a prototype actually. The intent with that is that however you carry the bag, like if I'm carrying it as a shoulder bag here, the rivet will allow it to articulate, and then if I'm carrying it in sort of a messenger bag scenario, you can see how that angle varies quite a bit. And what that does is it always makes sure that the strap lays flat and there's no pressure points on one side or the other. And it's the same thing that like a clip strap, like a standard kind of clip swivel would do. The difference is that when you put this bag down, it doesn't turn into like a big tangly mess, and when you pick it up, the strap is like facing the other direction. So this is the rivet-based system that we show in the pics is what we're going to be doing for the final bag. The clip-based that Trey had was sort of a placeholder until we could figure out exactly how to make it all happen.
All right. Kevin Dunkey said, how much stuff can you jam in there assuming there is no camera in it and you're just using it as a carry-on?
I mean,
Art, let me answer this only because I've been traveling with it as a carry-on. I just did a wedding in Jackson Hole and came straight through Minneapolis. I've been using it in airports like nonstop for a while here, and I do use it as my carry-on. I've actually done weekend trips just with the bag. I am a pretty light traveler, but I do just the bag and a mirrorless setup, and I'm able to get a couple of, as long as you're willing to do flip-flops, I get a couple changes of clothes in there. I get all my toiletries in there. Like it can really, really, as Art likes to say, gulp up a lot of stuff. I don't really know how to answer that question with respect to like what can you cram in there. Like I got a couple shirts, I got a couple pairs of undies, I've got my speaker that I carry with me everywhere. Like I can start listing things, but generally speaking, it really just it's very expandable. You take those dividers out there, and it's just like it's voluminous. It really is.
I think a good way to illustrate that maybe is the normal resting state of the bag, and people were asking specific dimensions, and I think we just posted some diagrams about that. Like the normal resting state of the bag, I think is like 6 inches wide or something like that, but like this is a D800 with a battery grip, and I think it's like 7.5 inches tall. It's a pretty massive setup, and you can kind of see how the bag really does allow it to sort of engulf stuff, I guess. And because of the ladder system, if you get it on the top rung here, the bag can really, it almost doubles in size. I think it goes from like 11 liters to 20-something liters, 21 liters. I don't know, we did the count.
13.5 to 20.5, which is more like a 55% increase, but it's significant.
Yeah.
Great. So the next question. The water resistance compared to low-pro bags, which feature a rain cover. Messenger would be about the same amount of rain protection, question mark?
I mean, a dedicated rain cover with sealed seams is really going to provide sort of the next level of protection. But we felt like, and there's a couple of reasons they do that. Number one is if you throw a ton of zipper pockets all over the bag with, crappy zippers and like lots of loose pockets and like not a very good, like lots of seams and patterns and stuff. There's a lot of places for water to enter the bag. It's also a lot more expensive to use waterproof or water-resistant, materials on the exterior of the bag. And it's actually super cheap to use like a really lightweight, 150D nylon and make a rain fly like that. So what we try to do is say, okay, like, the level of water protection is not like you're going to leave this thing out in a rainstorm for, 6 hours or whatever and expect everything to be, completely dry when you get back. But we were trying to hit a sort of a real life, what is it like when you're using a bag and it's raining? Like generally you're not going to be tromping through the rain for more than, I don't know, an hour or two. And it's not going to be driving rain the entire time. So we're trying to hit sort of a real-world, realistic scenario and not have to provide any extra, floppy stuff to stuff and unstuff. And so the short answer to that is it's not going to be the same level of protection as a dedicated rain cover. But without the rain cover, it's a much higher level of protection than an uncovered camera bag for sure.
Or why don't you remind them of the weatherproof zippers and the water-resistant coating that put on there, and then the PU backer.
Right. So the way that we've addressed the weatherproof issue is that the fabric is all treated with a water repellent treatment so that it sheds water. It also has a PU backing on it. Much like outerwear or a tent does, so that even if the water wets out and is completely saturated, it's not going to pass through that back layer. And then we use water-resistant zippers that are pretty good at shedding water. Obviously, it's a flap-style pack, so the thing is far from submersible, but it does a pretty good job at shedding water.
I just want to note that Art Vijay is killing it right now, and that he is in his, as Pete Deering says, in his element. This is is talk about things that he's
When
designed.
Art said very almost dryly in the video too, in the interview sequence we did, where he said like, "I've been thinking about designing a bag for over a decade now." I believe that was about his tone, but what that seriously meant is that the guy had seriously thought probably every single day about designing a bag, because my man Vijay over there is the most detail-oriented person I've ever met in my life. Bless you, Art, for being part of this company, man. It's just blows me away every single day.
BJ.
Probably to a fault for most things in my life, but if you're designing a bag, I guess.
It's your fault. You need the people who are in your life just to make you get out of bed in the morning and not be stuck inside your head.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, next question. We got a few more to get through. So the pockets for the iPhone tablet, are they able to fit just their iPhone and iPads? A lot of us that shoot outdoors use protective cases like the OtterBox Defenders for the iPhone and iPad.
I see.
You're talking about the tablet sleeve, not the iPhone.
Well, I think he's talking about the side pockets for the iPhone, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
The pockets on the back are sized to be able to take an iPod with a case. I have tried it with like a really, really bulky kind of waterproof case, and I think that the OtterBox Defender one probably is along those lines. I can get exact dimensions on those, and we can get a little bit more specific on our diagrams. Adam and I will talk about that a little bit more.
I think it's worth noting here that at a certain point you begin to trade space in that back slot for space inside your bag, and so you can kind of do it so long as you're willing to jettison some of that space. It's definitely made to be able to rob Peter to pay Paul.
Well, there's a width consideration there also, but you hit the nail on the head there, Pete. I mean, this bag is it's sort of a general envelope style construction. So again, if you put a big, huge, bulky laptop in the back of the bag, or it's really load up the front of the pocket, you are obviously going to take away a little bit of space from the inside of the bag as well. So.
And then if Todd was asking about the pockets on the side of the bag, I think the answer would be most definitely you can fit more than just a bare iPhone in there. And like Art said, we'll get more specific dimensions on their suit.
Right. And on the bag that we show, this is the bag that is on the Kickstarter that we showed all the photos and videos. The access to this pocket right now is pretty slim. That is going to get a little bit larger. A lot of people have been asking about water bottles, and we're hesitant to say like for sure it's going to fit all your water bottles because there is some size trade-offs there between the capture access and the depth of the bag and all of this, and trying to accommodate everything that we want to and get water bottles in there. We're not.
It's Disney Princess water bottle. I've got Ariel, I've got Snow White, I've got Cinderella, all the hits. Anyways, this does fit in here. All right. We don't advertise it like that though, because again, that's just encroaching then on the interior of the bag. That being said, when I was in Wyoming this last week, I definitely used this as a water bottle holder. Now, we're not advertising it that way because we are not looking forward to encountering the question of, there's a million different water bottles out there, and it's not going to be able to fit every single one of them. And so we just don't want to get ourselves into trouble. Can you squeeze one in there? Absolutely. If you get a tall and skinny one, it actually fits in there quite conveniently. The water bottle question remains. I think there's further addressing we can do. In our design meetings, we've talked about some other kind of utility actions for capture. I think it's a tough sell to ask people to own a $60 water bottle catchment. At the same time, it'd be pretty sweet if you've already got capture on there and you want to use that sometime. So those are options. Can it fit a water bottle as it is right now? Sort of. Just not ready to advertise it as a feature because we don't want to get in trouble.
Right. And we're going to get final dimensions on that next week when we get our next round of prototypes in, and we'll have some more data around just how big of a bottle you can get in there.
Have you guys given thought to any additional milestone goals, features for the bag, since you've already done so amazingly well?
I'm happy to answer that one as well. Unless Adam, you want to take it over? Okay, I'll answer it. I'll just quit being a hog here pretty soon. No, we've got some fun stuff planned for later in the campaign that we think that other people might brand as a stretch goal or something like that. But it's not a stretch goal. It's not because we've done so well. We are blown away, and I mean every single one of us is just kind of buzzing right now with the success that this thing has had. But we have to plan our products so far back in the future in order to get them right that we don't really have the ability to on the fly bring in new types of products or anything like that. We want to give you the very best product that we can from the onset. I don't know, personally, and I think we've said this during every hangout, we kind of consider the stretch goal thing to be a little bit gimmicky or something like that, and I don't know, it's just the way we've always done it, we've just kind of shied away from it. Any other thoughts, guys, on that?
Yeah, I mean, the reality is the way that I mean, the reality is like, let's say we wanted to say stretch goal, we'll make a Kickstarter green bag or something horrendous like that. Granted, we would never do that. It would probably be an awesome stretch goal, but like procuring the material and doing lab dips and all of that, it all takes so much time that we don't want to make everyone else pay for those stretch goals, and that's what it would come down to. Is like people order a black bag, that's great, and they're going to get it, when we can get these things produced. But it does take extra time to manage all those extra choices and features, and so we're trying to run a clean ship, I guess.
I think that a lot of folks who have been around Peak Design following past campaigns are aware of this, but I just got a call from my buddy who's making spectacular bike lights in Boston, and he was asking me about our product design and then about our video. And every time I told him that, yep, we do all that in-house. Yep, we do all that in-house. All of our design, all of our video making, all of our marketing, our writing, all of that. Those are Peak Design employees who are creating that content. And I say that not to boast at all, but we are very, very resource constrained. And we like it that way. We think that the quality of our products are so much better because we do everything in-house. But I think it's also worth noting that that's not the norm. All right, like design houses, media houses, marketing houses, these are the things that people generally contract with in order to bring products to life and campaigns like this to life. And I am extremely proud that we all do it right here. I mean, even the website. Look at Mark shaking his head there. Like, we're releasing a new website. You guys don't even know about it, but it's version 3 of a website, and it's going to be spectacular. And the man's been coding over there in the corner for 7 months on it. It's awesome.
All right. Next question. When the front section is opened, is it designed to act as a tray, or if I have those red-green lined pockets filled with spare batteries, is there a danger of it flopping down and having everything spill out on the ground?
Right. Well, so the way that the patterning works is that there is sort of a built-in stop on it, and we so you can see it doesn't the natural the way that we have where the zippers stop, and the foam on this front panel is very stiff, so it doesn't want to go beyond 90 degrees on the bag. And we've also switched some of the pocketing around. Before we had like our big pockets on the front here, and we were concerned about exactly the scenario you just said. Now our smaller pockets are on the front, so all your big, heavy, expensive stuff is here, and it's going to be batteries and stuff here, and they're not going to weigh down the flap so much. So also another thing to note is on this front pocket, you don't have to, if you have the front pocket completely over jammed with, tons of small objects that can fly out everywhere, you don't have to open it completely. It functions exactly like most other pockets do, in that you open up the top and you can open it up and access your stuff just like a normal kind of front zip pocket would on a backpack or something like that.
Or even on the side too.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, or side. If you know, I know exactly where my battery is, you can slip in through the side while the pocket's still closed if you kind of prepare your zippers beforehand for it. But at the same time, you can pull the zippers up to the middle and cover them so that thieves aren't able to slip stuff out to the side.
Brown bag. Are we gonna get pictures of the brown bag soon?
So the brown fabric is in. We've got lab dips for it. I can actually show you lab dips. That might be interesting.
So, folks, lab dips are in the process of making fabric. Essentially, they have companies will keep white varieties of their stock of all these different fabrics, of which there are very, very many. And then we essentially give them Pantone colors, which they try to match using not the exact process that they're going to use in the batch production, but using a color matching thing. There they go. These are lab dips.
So those all look kind of different because of the different angles. But so you can see the color that we're using for the brown bag, we've been sort of reaching for names for it, but I kind of describe it as like a burnt tan or like a kind of a rusty orange brown, and heritage tan was the kind of the name we ended up for. It's you kind of picture like Carhartt khaki, but a little bit on the redder, earthier side. So it's a really nice tone, and then we're pairing that with a dark kind of really neutral brown for all the trim on that bag. And so we have some renderings that I'm pretty happy with in terms of what the final look of the bag is going to be, and I think those just went out in a survey that Adam put together. And I'm hoping to have some final fabric and prototypes in my hand in the next week or two here. And as soon as we get photos of that stuff, we'll share it, of course, because obviously we don't want to only sell dark gray bags. Brown ones are pretty.
The survey that Art mentioned will be going out just a little bit later today. And basically, no worries. The purpose of that survey is for us to gauge your interest at this moment in time as to what color bag you want. We've got some mocked-up images showing the two different colors, and it's by no means a final decision. We're just trying to forecast how many of each type of bag to order and where we should be stocking our warehouses. So,
right.
Coming soon.
Yeah, we're just trying to not order 50-50 of each color, and then everyone wants brown, and then we're stuck with a ton of gray bags. So.
How heavy is the bag with nothing in it?
We have.
It's about 2.5 pounds, I want to say.
I think that's right. That's right. Considering like the robustness of the strap we have with the seatbelt webbing and like all of our like awesome heavy-duty aluminum hardware and everything, the bag actually it definitely has a lightweight feel to it when there's nothing in there. I think you'll be pretty happy with the weight.
Great.
The exterior fabric that we use is a 500D, and part of the reason we went with that is because we were trying to get some really clean shapes and edges, and if you go with like a 1000D or a 1200D, like really gnarly ballistic stuff, number one, the bag starts to get really, really heavy because there's just so much weight invested in the outer fabric. And then you also can't get it to do some of the more complex shapes that we're asking the fabric to do. So we picked a really durable but lightweight kind of thinner material for the exterior of the bag.
For those who are curious, the D that he's referring to is called denier, and that has to do with the thickness of each individual yarn strand in there. So when you said 150D lightweight rain shell earlier, that's how like thin it is, and that you probably can think about like those really rough nylon things, 1000 denier, something like that.
Right.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, like a motorcycle jacket, a nylon motorcycle jacket is like 1000D. And then like a tent is like 120D or something.
Yep.
So we've got about 15 minutes left, and we have at least 20 more questions. So let's just try to roll through as many as we can as quickly as possible.
Any thoughts about internal business card if found slot with translucent fabric and a place to secure my SD card holder very secure from accidental loss, not theft?
Does he mean SD cards or SD like wallet?
SD card holder. So I'm assuming that plastic thing that will hold SD cards.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah, we hadn't considered the business card. If lost, please contact. I had actually considered a line where you could write your name on the bag, kind of old school, like Boy Scout style. I like that idea. But yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting idea for sure. I definitely think of that as more of kind of a luggage feature, but it's a premium product, and I don't know. We can talk a little bit more about that. In terms, I don't quite know in terms of what he means for the SD card slot. I mean, the slots on our bag are very similar to a lot of other bags in that they're sewn on 3 sides, and they have an elastic binding that prevents things from popping out too easily. They don't have a zipper on them, but there are zipper pockets on the bag. There's one in the top flap that you can really kind of batten the hatches down if you want to. So we really, I will say, with the pocket layout of the bag, we were really trying to create an open layout rather than something that says, pen goes here, only memory cards can fit here. Like our memory card pockets are a little bit larger because we were like, well, it'd be nice to be able to get a mirrorless battery or a memory card in there rather than just having these like really dedicated spaces for everything. And part of that.
Let's try to get to as many as we can, guys. We got 19 more to go. That one was.
Its phone fits in the stash pockets. What does the promo shop feature?
I think we already kind of went over that with the water bottle pockets, but this is an iPhone 6 Plus, and it goes in there with plenty of room, and we're going to add even more room than that.
The promo shots show a regular 6, I think, and that was just a 6 Plus that went in there really easily.
Yeah.
Cool. Next question.
Someone else.
Could you explain the adjustable dividers coming with the bag a bit more? How many will be included? How adjustable are those? And will they be available separately?
Sure.
I'll take a crack at it. So we include 3 with the purchase of the bag, and in case you guys were going to see a little bit more, these are an EVA molded divider that's articulating in several different directions. And what's nice about that is we've included Velcro only where you need it in order to attach it in the bag, which has corresponding locations for Velcro, so it's very easy to get in and out. When you want to put it in the bag, you're not catching it early. We'll put together a comprehensive set of pictures and instructions for how we recommend setting it up. But the nice thing about these dividers is that they will expand and contract with the bag, so they're not you're not stuck with a foam cube, which was our goal, and that these are very very customizable to whatever you're going to be carrying in your bag.
Why don't you show them like the 3 main kind of like fold down setups?
I think that the videos do the best job of that we possibly kind of could do. Like, don't they do a better job than we could do right now?
They do.
Kind of.
Yeah. I just think that like there's a lot of great questions. I'd love to get to them, but that's kind of our best way of showing with video and picture the way that they can. I mean, Pete hit on it exactly. Do this with the bag and configurable for different shapes and types of gear, and great Velcro. But it'll be tough to just kind of talk about how great they are, I feel like.
All right, we got a question for Trey here. Compared to the What's in My Bag video you did in New Zealand with Frederick Van Johnson, are you able to fit the same amount of gear into this new bag? Was it like sample loadouts for you and other photographers, like for weddings, etc.?
Yes, I'm able to fit even more in my bag than was in that video. I kind of a light carry, and even though I do use these Sony cameras, some of the lenses are just as big as DSLR lenses, and right now, because I have a mixture of big and small lenses, I can fit 6 lenses inside as long as I keep my camera on the outside, which honestly I do. I almost never put my camera inside my bag, even like on carry-on on planes. I just have it there all the time. I'm careful with it so I don't knock it around, you know, because it is on the outside of the bag in those kind of situations. But yeah, I could fit a ton of stuff in the bag. And even if I wanted to, I could also put this inside the bag. So it's massive inside. It's really impressive. And it's kind of fun to arrange it in different kinds of ways because you have so many possibilities with these things. It's really fun. There's a lot of configurations where you can stick things in the corner or between these little foldable things. It's super fun.
Yeah. Cool. What's next, Alish?
Let's see here. How about, could the strap be used like slide? It would be great to have the option to go fast and light without the whole bag.
So that's where your pouch comes in handy. The fast and light thing, going without the bag, field pouch is spectacular for that. I did it like that. I was just kind of doing a little hack with my pouch, which Art made for me kind of as like a gift a while ago, and I popped a couple holes in the side of it and threw some anchors on it and carried it like that, and then I put a capture clip. I just tightened it down real hard using capture tool, this leather thingy, and it was like son of a gun. I've got a perfect setup for myself for super fast and light. And so this obviously connects to any of the straps that we make: leash, slide, slide light. You talk about slide light? Anyway, so yeah, there's your fast and light setup, and it's sweet.
Are the laptop sleeve and the tablet sleeve separated, and if so, with how much padding?
They are separated. There's padding. There's not a ton of padding, obviously, because we wanted to keep things thin back there, and that directly eats up into the volume that's available. It's about 3 millimeters of fairly soft foam, but it's enough to basically protect the screens next to each other, and then the overall foam around it is what's going to protect, you know.
Foams, you know, it's a flat screen on a flat back of something. You can't create a point load, and point loads are what damage things in particular. Flat against flat, not really that much of a problem. Do have a little bit of foam in there anyway.
Right. Sweet. So, are there 2 zippers across the top, one for the camera compartment and one for the computer compartment, or do the 2 compartments share a single zipper?
2 zippers, one for the laptop and tablet right here, and then the other one for the main access to the bag, so you can get all your goodies.
Right. Now, with the bag weighted down with stuff, will the strap be comfortable enough not to press on your shoulder? Can we foresee any optional extra padding?
No extra padding available, but we are sizing the amount of padding that's included in the tubular webbing in order to account for a comfortable carry, along with making this wider than our current tubular webbing with slide, increasing it from 47 millimeters to 52.
Yeah, 45 to 52, and doubling the thickness of the foam. So it should be pretty comfortable. It is comfy. This one's great.
Can you use the Capture Pro with the plate attached to the tripod, but without the camera to hold the tripod? It may need an additional strap to prevent it from swimming. Basically, can you attach with your tripod?
Can you attach the tripod to the Capture? There's a way to do that, right? We've seen someone do that.
I think so. You'd have to use 2 plates, though.
Right, you'd have to screw a plate into the plate on the tripod. Tripod carry, I mean, we should address that now. That's been something that's been pretty hot on the comment boards. And I would say right now we don't have great, like, dedicated tripod carry options on the bag, and we're trying to think about if we want to add them or not. It's sort of in the battle between a super feature-rich bag that has straps and blips and blobs to do everything versus a bag that's very clean and has a good, you know, focus. Then tripod carry and the luggage strap on the back were 2 of the things that kind of got the axe. And now we're trying to think about okay, let's rethink it. Are there some ways to bring it in that's clean? We don't want to. We've got a really good thing going, and we don't want to mess that up. So I will say that if we do add it in that extra functionality, it's the only way we're going to do it is if we aren't sacrificing anything else. So I don't think anyone needs to worry. There's been some people who have been like, no, don't add it. It'll make it ugly. So
those are the comments we appreciate the most because it's like people who totally get it, but we also understand the desire for the tripod thing too. So
absolutely. So we've got some stuff we're working on, and I think we'll have some more. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But as of now, there is not a dedicated tripod carry option on the deck. Yeah.
So sometimes people shoot with 2 bodies, including a 60D. Will there be enough space to pack 2 bodies on lenses without worries of them rubbing against each other?
You're covered. We showed in the video pretty clearly.
Yeah, I mean, so part of the reason, like, a lot of camera bags, whenever they show it loaded with gear, they have things sort of Tetrised in and, like, the body with no lenses attached and stuff like that. I mean, when we designed this bag, I was all about, like, all right, what shape is a camera? You know, what is, like, the ideal way to, like, store it? And I was like, the solution we came up with is basically top loading. Like, you want everything to be able to top load right next to each other. And because the bag can accommodate a camera that's this wide and a camera that's very narrow, that means that you can fit 2 bodies. I think you can get 2 bodies and a lens, actually, depending on the size of the bodies and the lenses in there just through top load. And then, obviously, you can stack things by folding over the inserts as well.
So we've just got 1 more minute, so we can do 1 more question probably. What happened to the ping pong table that was in the office during the slide clutch kickstart?
I think that was a different ping pong table.
Wait. That question is a plant so that you guys can start doing ping pong right after this. I know it. Rob, that was you, wasn't it?
Well, the other question we had was how long are you going to let your hair grow, Pete?
I just got a haircut yesterday, actually, as it happens. So we'll see. So as long as the dirty hippie look is in style. Oh, it's not in style? Show them the ping pong table, will you guys? Come on, I'm proud of that. That was work I did on a Saturday.
Oh yeah. Well, so this our kitchen table here that we have is it has transforming legs. So you like lift it and kick the bottom out, and then you put this leaf onto the side of the table, and then another one onto the back, and it's a pretty sweet ping pong table.
It's regulation size.
A big debate.
What was that, Art?
It was a big debate in the office because everyone was like, no, it's fine, it can be a little bit taller, no one's going to care. And then me and Mark, who are like not as tall as everyone else, were like, no, that's bullshit. Regulation or nothing.
I know. Mark, we might be regulation size, but who's up in the game tally? I don't know, man. You're not going to say anything?
You guys want to do any more questions? Or?
If there's more.
Yeah, we can do a couple more.
There's plenty of questions.
All right, let's we got.
Let's rip through this one. We're 5 here.
Slightly off topic from the product, are there any plans to make a tripod or monopod? I think a PD tripod would be awesome, and the features you'd include to revolutionize the tripod, monopod market.
Pete, why don't you field that one?
With a big fat no comment. Okay, no, I will field it. I'll say this. Tripods are really complicated mechanisms, and there's a billion different tripod heads out there, but tripod legs are all pretty similar. I don't know. I feel like if we could figure out something different to do with those, we might endeavor to do it. But it's kind of one of those things where, as with all products, if we can't make a significant functional change to it, then it's not something that we're going to enter. If we find a way to be able to do that, we try to think about these things all the time, then we'd entertain. Is that vague enough?
I think that goes with our ethos a little bit. We don't want to just like slap a PD logo on some stuff that's the same as everything else out there. Anything that we come out with, we're really trying to sort of be disruptive with it and come out with some cool stuff.
Here's a design request. Could you fit a loop inside the front section that you could put your keyring or ThinkTac pocket rocket to?
Inside the front loop.
They just said, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually, I've heard that request before. What we are thinking of doing is putting some anchor attachment points so that we get some versatility and where you'd have like a leash attachment point or even a cuff attachment point. Like actually a couple of the people in the office use cuffs for keychains because they work pretty well. You just throw an anchor on your keys. So I think we're going to do a little bit more development on that and see what we can come up with. As of now, there is nothing.
Pete, do we have to fight for space with other Kickstarter businesses when we're filming around the Golden Gate Bridge? Allegedly.
I don't know what you're like. Allegedly, I have no idea what you're talking about. I maintain that position.
So we got another question. The hack you had previously mentioned for attaching the bag to our rolling cases. How about when using half-height rolling cases, like the ThinkTac Airport Navigator?
Yeah, so I mean that's the photo we posted only works if the height of your bag or your handle happens to coincide with the height of the bag. And then the other situation, which is sort of mimics the way that like pilots and stuff, and flight crew usually wear their stuff, which keeps a really low center of gravity, and I think actually works great. That wouldn't work on a smaller bag like that, so that's a good point. And yeah, as of now, we don't have a great answer for you there, I suppose.
So
but we are thinking about it.
We're thinking about it.
We are thinking about it.
A couple mock-ups in the office, right? So we're just working on it.
I lost at least 2 hours of sleep to it last night, so.
Another request, please make extra dividers purchasable separately as add-ons. I could see need for using even more of those in other bags.
Yeah, we thought about that a little bit. I mean, there is a chance that there's a fairly good chance that our dividers would fit different companies' bags as long as the dimensions, it really has to do with the bottom dimension of the bag, because the top dimension can obviously expand and contract, but the bottom is fairly fixed. So I don't know. We might do something like that. We're not sure what we're going to do there.
Hey, Lockett, does the bag work well while you're running?
It does actually. You'd be surprised that stabilizer strap just locks it right in on your hips.
Right.
It's you can really move.
You can see that in action in the video pretty well.
Yeah, we went with a 32 millimeter wide stabilizer strap rather than just like a 25 or 20 inch, like a really thin one. And that's because the stabilizer strap on this bag, because the shoulder strap is so flexible, it really allows you to take a lot of the weight off your shoulders. So if you've got a lot of stuff you're carrying, big heavy gear and a laptop and all of that, you can really lighten the load on your shoulders with that stabilizer strap.
And still flip the bag around and get top access, right, without taking off your stabilizer strap, which is cool.
Yep.
All right, we're a few minutes over. Do you want to keep on going, or how are you guys doing?
What do you say, Adam?
I mean,
I'm thinking that we're just about through. There's just a couple of other questions that we haven't already answered.
Any there you saw, Adam, that you wanna address?
Any biggies?
We've attacked.
Looking at them right now. Why is the diagonal strap on the side? That's for attaching our capture camera clip to. Something that you can learn more about on the Kickstarter page. It's by far one of the best ways, if not the best way, to carry your camera. It's amazing.
Right. And the reason, actually, that's kind of an interesting quick one. The reason it's diagonal is because generally the strap comes off the bag at an angle. You can see this is like the neutral way that it hangs. And then, so what that does is it transfers the load through this reinforced strap, which is connected to the front of the bag. So it keeps the whole bag nice and sturdy, and it keeps this taut so that when capture's attached to it, your camera is not going to flop away and fall away. Like, yeah.
I could mention the second reason it was diagonal to begin with, too, is because we wanted both vertical and horizontal attachment to capture. But really, after messing with it, we found that the best way to do capture on it is horizontal at the very top, so we made special accommodation for that. But that was also another kind of driving factor of that shape.
Right.
Question for the dividers. If I only use a small camera, will the bag, as I open the lid, kind of flap out or remain stable and flat?
Totally stable. There's still plenty of rigidity within that foam structure to be very stable.
Yeah.
Steve Buchan asks if I wanted a second bag because I like the other color. Can you add on another bag? You absolutely can. Scroll down the page, the Kickstarter page, and look at where it says the add-on menu. Detailed instructions on how to do that.
That was a great question to have answered.
Is the strap going to be long enough this time? Another question.
Yeah, a pretty big size adjustment range on here because we have this sort of convertible design, which we talked about last time, but I'll go over real quick. So this is in sort of messenger bag mode where the foam extends all the way down to the side of the bag. And then this is in sort of like a low messenger mode, or if you're a kind of a bigger person, then the foam is kind of in this region here. And then you can extend it all the way down like so, and that's in like kind of a shoulder bag mode. And then within each of those, you have our quick adjust, the same mechanism on slide. So the max length is like that. It's pretty long.
Swimming.
Sweet. So I am not seeing any new questions, so I think we should wrap things up. I thought before we go, Trey, I would love you to kind of give a heads up to people on this bus tour that's happening. Oh, he just dropped off. That's how super secret this bus tour is.
You don't even know.
We've talked about this in a couple of our Kickstarter updates, but the long story short of it is that if you want to be one of the first people to actually see and feel and play with these bags, Trey Ratcliff is doing a photo walk bus tour in 10 of the nation's biggest cities, the nation of America's biggest cities. He's starting in New York on, I believe, August 6th, and then hitting up a bunch of other... Oh, he's back!
See, I'm full of surprises. You never know what I'm going to do next. Yeah, so we're going to do these photo walks. I'm actually finishing packing in the next few days. I leave with my whole family from here in New Zealand, where it's actually cold, and flying to New York City. The first big photo walk is on the 6th, August 6th, so be sure to come out for that. And we're going to hit 13 cities across the USA. You're all welcome to come out. We'll have a few bags there for you to see and touch. You know, it'll be like that scene in Indiana Jones when he returns the little statue from Brady Bunch to the Indian village. You can all just walk up and touch it as it goes by. And it's going to be amazing. And if you guys want to find out like when I'm coming to a city near you, just check out, we made a special website called tour.treyratcliff.com, and we hope to get a lot of the Peak Design guys out to join us at these things. And we have the huge final photo walk on like the last day or second to last day of the Kickstarter, and then with a little party at the end too. So it's just going to be unbelievable. It's going to be great. I'm excited about it.
Sweet.
Awesome. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
Thanks, everybody. It's really cool to do these. I think everybody at Peak Design, and hopefully now Trey's got a taste for it. We love doing these things. So more to come.
Excellent. Sounds good. Thanks, everybody, for listening in. This Hangout will be available on our YouTube channel to watch in full for those who couldn't make it, or if you just want to listen all over again.
I'm going to go do that right now.
I fall asleep to these. They're really soothing.
I'm signing
right.
off.
One.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody. See ya.